Yo, what's up? Welcome back to another episode of The Sauce. Continuing with NFL Week 2. Got a division matchup here, AFC North. Ravens are on the road in Cincinnati to play the Bengals. Line Cincinnati -3. Total sitting at 46.5. Let's do it.
Welcome to The Sauce. The Sauce. Sauce. Hey, get the sauce.
So the public's pretty split even in this one. Sharp action came in on Cincinnati early on, and it's still leading Cincinnati, but this line's been bouncing back and forth between 3 and 3.5 this whole week. Right now it's sitting at 3 on some books and 3.5 on others. So let's break down this matchup. We'll start with Baltimore, and let's start on a positive note. Defense looked great in week 1. Houston averaged just 3.1 yards per rush attempt, 5.5 yards per pass attempt. CJ Stroud was sacked 5 times in the game. Ravens defense was absolutely dominant, great performance. That being said, I'm not going to throw them a parade for shutting down the Houston Texans, whose offense ranked 31st in the NFL last year, with a rookie quarterback, rookie head coach, and they're at home in Baltimore. They deserve some credit, they played great, but let's keep it in context. But on the other side of the ball, the Ravens offense, we got some questions here. Baltimore had just 265 yards of total offense in that game, just 4.6 yards per play. I expect Houston's defense to be improved this year, but still, the Texans are a defense that ranked 28th in DVOA last year, and they were missing their star safety, the guy they brought in the offseason, Jimmy Ward. The Baltimore Ravens ran 58 offensive plays last Sunday. Just 2 of them went for 20 or more yards. And of their scoring drives, they had 4 scoring drives. 3 of those drives were gift-wrapped. They started on the Houston 42, the Houston 42, and the Baltimore 42. Lamar Jackson didn't really look good at all in the opener, threw a terrible interception in the red zone, or at least it was close to the red zone, and he also fumbled the ball twice. But the thing is, if I'm being honest, I can't put this on Lamar Jackson. Yeah, he didn't have a good game, but Lamar Jackson averages just 0.77 turnovers per game in his career. We know he's not going to be turning the ball over like that, and I'm sure he'll build some chemistry with the new pieces on that Ravens offense. To me, a much bigger concern was the Ravens offensive line play, because Lamar Jackson was under constant pressure in that game. He was sacked 4 times, and in the first half, he dropped back to pass 12 times. He was pressured on 7 of those 12 dropbacks. And now left tackle Ronnie Stanley and center Tyler Linderbaum are both going to miss this game, both of them out. How can we have any faith in this Ravens offensive line right now after what we just saw and now add on the injuries? And since we're talking about injuries, you got to bring up J.K. Dobbins, torn ACL, out for the season. Unfortunately, that sucks. I know running back is one of the most replaceable positions on the football field. We all know that. That's why they don't get paid. But this could be a problem. The Ravens' 3 running backs combined to average just 2.6 yards per carry last week against Houston, a team that was bottom 5 in rush defense last year. And now they go on the road in Cincinnati against a Bengals team that they haven't been scoring on recently. Ravens are just 1-4 in their last 5 matchups against the Bengals. Their point totals in those 5 games, 17, 16, 19, 21, 17. So they're not scoring a lot of points on Cincinnati. Granted, Lamar Jackson played in just 2 of these 5 games, but even the games that Lamar Jackson did play in, they scored just 17 points and 19 points. The Bengals defensive front may not have racked up a ton of sacks last year, just 28th in adjusted sack rate, but they did definitely generate pressure. They were 11th in pressure rate. This should be a good opportunity for them to disrupt the Ravens offense. And stopping the run game was Cincinnati's best attribute last year. They were 5th in rushing yards allowed per game, 5th in yards per carry allowed, and 15th in adjusted line yards. I know we just saw the Browns have some success running the ball in Cincinnati in week 1. They had over 200 yards on 5.2 yards per carry, but that's Cleveland. They got a healthy offensive line. It was week 1. The Ravens offensive line has issues. They have running back issues. I think the Bengals defense bounced back in a huge way. Now, Lamar Jackson has had success running the ball on the Bengals in the past, but Cincinnati's defense has gotten so much better the last couple of years. I'm really not worried about these stats here. So I think everything looks great for the Bengals defense in this matchup. I like Cincinnati's defense in this one. But on the other side of the ball, when it comes to the Bengals offense, if they come out with a similar effort in this game to the effort we saw in week 1, they're going to get embarrassed in front of their home fans because that was truly pitiful. Joe Burrow missed basically all of camp and preseason with a strained calf, and it really showed. We just saw the worst performance of Joe Burrow's career, just 14 of 31, 82 passing yards, no touchdowns. Last season, the Bengals averaged over 360 yards of total offense a game and converted 46.91% of their third downs, good for 8th and 4th best in the NFL. Last week, they were held to just 142 total yards and went 2 for 15 on third downs, both dead last. So was this just a case of the Bengals offense being rusty, Joe Burrow missing camp? Are they going to look like the Bengals we're familiar with in this matchup? Well, if Wink Martindale was still the DC in Baltimore, I'd say yes. Joe Burrow had great numbers against this guy. He hasn't had nearly as good numbers against Mike Macdonald. And the same thing can be said for Joe Mixon. He's really struggled to get it going against Baltimore under Mike Macdonald as well. In his last 2 matchups against the Ravens, just 66 yards on 22 carries. That's just 3 yards a carry. So I like the Ravens defense in this matchup as well, except we do have to mention one thing. The secondary that shut down Joe Burrow, or I shouldn't say shut down, the secondary that did a great job against Joe Burrow last year, is mostly gone. Marcus Peters is on the Raiders, Marlon Humphrey's out with a foot injury, and Marcus Williams is out as well. He's got a torn pec, I think. So 3 of the 4 members of Baltimore's secondary that did a great job against Burrow last year are gone. Now, the Ravens secondary did look fine last week, but like I said, that was at home against a bad offense with a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback. This is the Bengals in Cincinnati with Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase coming off a bad game. So slightly different. Before I get to the bet, I do have an underdog pick'em for this game. They're running a promo. Joe Burrow higher than 1/2 passing yard, so that's just basically a free leg. Lamar Jackson higher than a 1/2 interception. Jamar Chase higher than a 1/2 touchdown. So Lamar Jackson to throw a pick, Jamar Chase to score a touchdown. That's a 3 times payout. If you don't have an underdog account, it's available to any state highlighted in yellow on this map. So if you're in one of those states, head over to Underdog Fantasy website or download the app. When you make your account, make sure you use the promo code BET, B-E-T. That'll give you a $100 deposit bonus. You deposit $100, they'll give you a free $100 to play with. As far as what I'm betting, I'm circling 3 bets in this one. I got Baltimore team total under 21.5, Cincinnati -3, and under 46.5. I'm probably going to narrow that down to 1 or 2 come Sunday morning. I'll let you know which or what I end up doing in my final decision Sunday morning on the live show, 11 a.m. If you want my top bets, parlay of the day, if you want to join the Discord, or if you want to join the Against the Spread competition, week 1 giveaway with a signed Keenan Allen helmet. Week 2 giveaway is a signed Drake London USC mini helmet. If you went in on that, head over to KyleKirms.com. All the info's right on the homepage. NFL Week 2, let's have ourselves a good one. Remember to bet responsibly, and I'll talk to you in the Discord.